Hi, you guys. I am back online after a very much needed vacation away from civilization. I ran away to the mountains and went camping, and it was wonderful. Thank you guys so much for your patience, waiting for me to get back on here and to do what I do best and what I enjoy the most is doing readings for you guys. So to start this reading off, I went ahead and pulled a few cards to get it started. And what I'm getting so far is that there is an abundant energy that is beginning to ground itself in your reality right now. And it's something that is going to feel very much like a strike of luck. So the reason why I'm saying that is because of the cards that I pulled. And the first one that came out, it was lucky, okay? Card number 47. But I feel like also that the horseshoe specifically is going to be very, very significant to whoever this message is for. You may have been seeing horseshoes as a synchronicity lately, but they hold some kind of value to you on a spiritual and like astral sense. And the number 47, it adds up to 11. I can't help it. I'm a numbers nerd. And as soon as my mind went to that, I thought life path 11. So this could be very significant to whoever this message is for as well. But it can also stand for awakening, right? And so you are awakening as well to this frequency of affluence. Okay, that's the second card that came out. And on this card, it's card number 5, okay? And continuing with this numbers journey that Spirit is taking me on with these cards, it stands for change. And this is what is beginning to ground within your life right now. And this card is card number 22, okay? And so that takes me to things coming into balance and harmony within your life. And that is why there is a frequency of it feeling kind of like luck. Really what luck is it's alignment. It's things starting to fall into place rather than falling apart. And this is what is grounding within your energy at this time. So with all of that being said, you are beginning to come into this wealth frequency. And it's not necessarily monetary wealth. It is inclusive of that. But what it is it's a natural abundance that is starting to take over in your life. And you might be noticing things kind of trickling in, so to speak. And I don't feel like this is something that is happening at a rapid pace, but it's happening enough now to where you can begin to recognize the frequency shift for you is what I am getting off of these cards. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around now and tap in with some different oracle decks and see what else. Alright guys, so here we are. Here are the 3 cards that were pulled before starting this reading. And I was drawn to the Egyptian gods oracle to pull some more on this message of this lucky, affluent energy and frequency that is beginning to ground itself within your energetic body, is what I was hearing. So let's go ahead and get a couple more out here for you. Thank you, Spirit. All right, we have 3. Wow, this is super cool. The first card is resentment, okay? But then we have hope. So resentment turned into hope, all right? And the third one is truth and fairness, okay? Justice. The resentment that you used to carry shifted over into that of hope, okay? So whatever was experienced in the past, whatever you are leaving behind currently in order to shift into this new energetic field, this new frequency, you have taken the negative aspects that you have experienced, right? And you have alchemized them. You have turned them into the vibration of hope and faith. And this has then brought justice and balance into your life, which is kind of reiterating that message of the 22 on the grounded card. Things coming into balance and harmony. Things are beginning to feel a lot more fair, because I feel like whoever this is for in the collective, they're coming from a past history of inequality, of unfairness, of kind of like being the workhorse in a sense, pulling the heavy chariot, right? Instead of being able to kind of sit in the chariot and relax. That's the analogy that Spirit's bringing through right now to kind of give a reference to how you had felt in the past. And instead of feeding into that feeling of putting your all in, right? And not getting anything in return, there was a release there. And once that release was reached, okay, there's this thing called hope that then was able to show up for you and to cause inspiration once again, and to cause you to be able to get the downloads needed and necessary to help guide you further away from this resentment energy and more into a fruitful energy. And the fact that Ma'at is coming out here as well, she's known for the balancing of the heart against the feather. And I feel like this is the past energy. This is where the resentment was, because you were feeling as if your heart was not being weighed out properly. And you knew that you had a heart that was as light as a feather, but there was so much resistance that it was having a hard time balancing, if that makes sense. And I just realized why Spirit brought that analogy through about the horse pulling the chariot, because they reminded me that the horseshoe is the first card that showed up in this reading. So that makes total sense. Thank you, Spirit. Horses, they also stand for freedom, right? It's like you reached this new frequency that allows for more freedom in your life. And with this newfound feeling of freedom comes this vibration of affluence. It feels very rich. It feels very wealthy in all ways, right? It's very freeing and very liberating. And this is the frequency that you are beginning to tap into and align yourself with. As I continue to talk, I'm going to grab my tarot and begin to shuffle them. But This has been kind of like a slow progression for you, as I have stated before. And it's more of a sense of a trickling instead of a flood, so to speak. But the more the hope, wow, trickles in, the more the hope trickles in your life, right? The more the frequency, you can see the frequency flowing through the waters of this jug here, right? Being poured. You're able to then pour from a full cup. And this is what's helping to cause this, like, living in your truest and your highest, okay? And being the catalyst to achieving a certain amount of balance within your life and being able to reap the rewards from all of the work that you had put in over the years. And yes, I specifically heard years. I don't know why I wanted to flip these over right away. And I am not doing reverse in this reading because that's what Spirit said. We have the Empress. That's probably why I was so drawn to quickly flip this one over and not wait. This is that energy, that divine Empress energy, that affluent energy that can be kind of disguised as luck. But really what it is it's alignment, and it's achieving that, like, solid foundation. And even though she's sitting there pretty with her staff, she is still poised and she's looking around and she's ready. So that feels to me as if a little bit of this resilience here is still kind of keeping you alert, okay? It's not really serving the purpose anymore of being, how would I say that, a victim, but more of like an educated person who is just on alert and able to spot trouble before trouble happens, if that makes sense. And this one plays hand in hand with that. So I understand why the Nine of Wands came out with the Empress, okay? It's like this newfound freedom, right? It looks like he's walking very cautiously out of the cage, and he is starting to figure out that he is truly free, just like that horse spirit that's showing up here as well. And there's a little bit of confusion on this dude's face. It's like the feeling of being trapped within a cage for so long and figuring out a way to free oneself after such a long time of being held captive, so to speak. Okay? The wand is in this dude's hand. He freed himself, is what I'm trying to get at here. And that's exactly what you have done. And this is not something that, you know, happened over a 24-hour period. This happened over a long, long time. I'm speaking to someone who has put in so much work. It's like, it's almost like trying to, like, open a jar, for instance, and you work so hard at trying to open it, okay? And just when you're about to give up on getting the jar open, it pops open, okay? It's kind of that vibe. And you're like, oh, it's kind of surprising, but like confusing because, well, why was it so hard before? Okay, it's because with every try of twisting that jar lid open, it nudged a tiny little bit looser. You just may not have noticed it because you still couldn't get the jar open. I hope you kind of follow me there. on the energy that is coming through in that analogy. Every twist of it, no matter if it came loose or not, it still was progress towards the jar opening until pop, suddenly it opens, right? That's exactly where you are at currently. And you're looking around and you're like, holy crap, I'm actually at a point where I am free. I'm free from the resentment. And I'm using the resentment, I'm using the lessons that I have learned through all this, and I am turning it into something that I can use to free myself even further. All the while, you are holding on to a little bit of caution because it's kind of a fresh thing, is what I'm getting at with those. Let's see what else came out. Very appropriate. We have the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Page of Cups. I mean, that is pretty perfect there, Spirit. It's like, and it's also very appropriate that I set it next to this Truth and Fairness card, because that's exactly the vibes that I'm getting off of this Knight of Swords energy here. Pretty soon, you are going to be able to take this wand that you had to remove from the cage to free yourself and turn it into a sword of truth for yourself. Instead of pulling the carriage, you are now able to ride this horse, this freedom horse, into your future, holding everything from the past without resentment anymore, but with a newfound clarity and a newfound hope. And that's what's bringing on these like new inspirations, these new feelings, these things that were non-existent in your life before, but they are now. They're very fresh, they're very inspiring, and it is opening you up to more in every aspect of your life, which is why this affluence card came out, along with luck, along with the grounded card, because along with this Page of Cups energy, it also could feel a lot like luck, getting lucky. But what it is truly is something that you have managed to ground within your energetic field and proverbially be able to take flight in a free way. Before I end this one, I was called to pull a couple of these ancient Egypt oracle cards for you. They have different messages on them from different ancient Egyptian gods and goddesses and energies, just to kind of see what message wants to come through to kind of tie all of this together. We have Hathor's gratitude guidance. That is so perfect. Thank you, Spirit. It says, practice gratitude by acknowledging the positive aspects of your life. That's exactly what you started doing. Make a habit of listing things you are thankful for each day. This practice will enhance your overall well-being and outlook. A lot of the times, this energy is only comes through when you do practice your gratitudes, right? Because the more you are grateful for the things that are already in your life, the more magnetized you become. And then we have Horus's insight guidance. Nefertiti. This reminds me of Nefertiti. That might be something significant to you as well. It says, trust your intuition when making decisions. Okay? I wanted to comment on that because within this energy, like I said, with the Page of Cups here, this Knight of Swords, that is part of the wealth that is coming in for you at this time as well. Opening yourself up to receive intuitive guidance and bring in ideas and thoughts to further progress your alignment, to put you on a physical timeline towards your true destined affluence, right? Pay attention to your gut feelings and your inner guidance, it goes on to say. Reflect on your instincts and let them guide you towards the right path. Yeah, it's basically what I just said. Keep yourself open to that kind of guidance, okay? Tap into that higher source consciousness that is within you and continue to trust it. The more trust and the more gratitude that you bring to the table while you're in this frequency, the more that can come through for you. And that's exactly where this person in the collective is at this time. I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. Thank you guys so very much once again for your patience of me getting back to doing the work that I truly love to do here on this channel. Until next time, I love you. Peace.